Good morning.
Good morning. This is the 11th of August, and this is Meditation Reflections. Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, it was a very interesting meditation. We always get something that's different and unusual and cool.
Yeah, and what always intrigues me is the parallels. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
One of our guides is the traditional Native American guide, but this one's very cool and often has interesting things to say. One of the proofs for me is when I get something, it's often phrased in a manner that I wouldn't necessarily phrase something, and that is a kind of proof to me.
That's clarification or our proof of basically channeling.
Yeah, something else coming in from outside if it's different in phrasing. I could probably make it up, but I doubt it. Anyway, this morning's was interesting enough that I wrote it down because the phrasing was nice.
Oh, let me say just before that, we have, I think, about 8 guides with us in the morning. And Donna went through and asked the various guides for information, and they all deferred to the one guide, Sakota.
Right.
So.
And I thought that was very interesting because Sakota is a Native American guide. Anyway, what he had to say this morning. Listening to the birds will tell you about the weather on their particular branch, or at best, their tree. But if you listen to the wind, it will tell you of greater patterns, rather like listening to your heart. The heart detects larger patterns over time, and of truth. You will hear a lot of noise, like the dawn chorus of the birds, but over time the wind says, "I'm from the north." By the way, that is a New Zealand answer. He pointed out later that if it was in the U.S., it would be, "I am from the west." Good things come from this direction, in most cases. Use your heart and this longer listening to help work out the truth, and work out the truth by the actions and the outcomes. So it was a very interesting metaphor about temporary scattered information, which is bird sound in the morning. They're all excited, and they're telling you about how wonderful their branch and their day is, whereas Sakota is saying, but that's too small. That's just noise. The larger scale information will come from the direction of the wind. And by the way, he also gave me an idea about would ring only when the wind came from a certain direction.
We're about to embark on casting bells.
Starting to make the first ones, and I thought that was an interesting idea. So I guess he's referring to all the noise and finding a way to filter through it. And I thought the wind direction was good, and the heart made perfect sense.
Most of our noise comes from the mind. We all have a monkey mind, and it gets us all occasionally. Even experienced meditators will have trouble with the mind. Part of that is the fact that we have 2 hemispheres, and we live in a very polarized society. I mean, most of the world is looking at left, right, good, bad, dark, light, just divide. And that's what some would say the powers that be want to keep us divided.
True.
And I was given a little metaphor about the synchronization of the 2 hemispheres. All our energy centers are spinning. We have 7 chakras, and the word chakra itself means spinning wheel, or something.
Spinning node or vortex.
Yeah. Anyway, spinning. So if you think of the left hemisphere going like this, spinning, and the other one is spinning the opposite direction. So to get them balanced, you need to synchronize them. And I'll see if I can turn sideways here and do it. This is very difficult to do, by the way.
Take some practice.
Let's see if I can.
Yeah, a little bit at an angle helps.
Yeah. So try this, and you'll find how difficult it is to do.
But if they practice by doing how? Tell me how to do it.
Just do it. Keep practicing. And the way I learned how to be able to do this is I started with squares. You go one forward, one back, both down, one forward, one back, and then just make squares like that, and then you can turn that into circles. So think of your mind doing that and balancing. Also, there's a very good DVD or CD you can get. Hemisync. I highly recommend that. What it does is it plays about 440 hertz on one side and about four hertz difference, like 444 in the other. So what your brain is doing is trying to hear both. So when you hear one, you hear a steady tone. Woo! Over here, woo! They're so close that you can't tell the difference, but your mind can.
Mm.
So if you have 440 over here, these numbers are not accurate. It's just using those for an example.
Mm-hmm.
444 over here, there's a 4 hertz difference, and what your mind tries to do is sync those. And instead of hearing a steady tone, you hear a vibrato. Woo, 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 woo. That's very weird, and so we've got the Hemisync CD and use that occasionally for meditation. It's really profound. It really works.
It does bring the two hemispheres into alignment, and we have medical proof on that one.
Yeah, and this is coming. I think it's coming from the Heart
Math Institute.
Math Institute out of California.
Yeah.
So check that out. Yes.
Wonderful information from those people.
Yeah, and there's other ways to synchronize your hemispheres of your mind.
Definitely.
So
Well, anyway, something a little bit different today, maybe a little more information, but I think the basic message is don't listen to the bird chatter. They don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, okay, I want to add one more thing. I had a meditation yesterday afternoon, and it was very, very deep. I went out into nature for this one, and I was near a river. And anyway, I got the inclination to do some self-healing. I was in a group of trees, and I meditate with trees, and I sink down into the ground and become basically one with the trees. And I didn't stay there very long, but as soon as I came out of it, I noticed the softball-sized rock on the ground. And I had the immediate thought, if I could do some more self-healing or getting rid of some energies that I'm carrying that are not of benefit. So what I did, I used some toning, and it was very odd toning. It was kind of a discordant sound, but that's what I needed at the time. And what that sound did was kind of expel the energies that I was carrying in my muscles and my nervous system or wherever in my body to the outside into my auric field, and I got that energy spinning around me. And so I kept spinning that energy faster and faster, contained it above my head into a ball. Now, getting back to the rock I saw on the ground, I threw that energy into the rock.
You asked its permission.
Oh yeah, I asked its permission, and I got a yes. Then I took that rock and threw it in the river so that that energy could be dispelled safely. So that's a technique that's, I think I read about it years ago or something, or made it up, I don't know. But it works. It works very well for me. So using that technique is very beneficial. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. And it was a very good experience, very clearing.
Any technique that works for you that gives you a way of separating something and moving it away from you in a responsible manner, and it works for you, is a marvelous tool. Use it.
Yeah.
Share them, because you'll pick and choose over time, hearing a lot of different ways to do it. And all those things help clarify and clear you After all, you don't have to keep the negative stuff.
Yeah, and let's get beyond the polarization. Yeah, it's just when you connect the mind to the heart, you kind of see
Stops it.
both sides, and it brings you much easier to get into balance that way. Just connect to your own heart.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
Thanks for being here,
Blessings upon you.
and we'll see you next time.
See you tomorrow.
Blessings.
Bye.